So this week, somebody offered to give me their house, and I'm going to turn it down. And you might ask yourself why, because the math on it's absolutely terrible. And I'm going to go into detail of why I think it's a terrible deal. So if you like spreadsheets, this is a good thing for you. All right, here it is in all its glory. This is what someone sent me last Saturday as we were driving to a birthday party. They contacted me through my rental Facebook page, which is just a standard Facebook page. It says, I have properties for rent. Every so often we post a new property for rent. I get such good response on it, I've had to resort to contacting other landlords and begging them to let me advertise their properties just to build subscribers. I'm sure we'll do an episode on how that works, but anyway, here's this house. It was built in probably around 1900. It sold in 2007. They bought it for $85,000. Someone flipped a foreclosure to the current owners, which is the root of the problems. When I first got into real estate as an agent, this was one of the first properties I looked at that was a foreclosure. It was in terrible condition then. It's in better condition now, but the problem is they've over-leveraged by a huge amount. This is the front of the house. It's not in too bad a shape looking on the outside, but it's a 2-bedroom, and most of the houses in this neighborhood are 3 and even 4-bedroom units, 1,300 square feet. Pretty good neighborhood overall, but there's problems with this specific one. This is a back room they've gutted. They tore it down to the studs. Up here you can see the original roof. It's kind of like an add-on, or maybe a shed conversion. Here's a half bathroom they've cut out. They're working on it. Just a lot of work that needs done. This is the back of the house, and I walk by this house all the time. It needs some very serious help. And they've got some equipment back in the back, and it needs a lot of work. So I'm going to show you how I would estimate the value of this and tell you why I'm probably going to turn it down. Like I said, they're effectively willing to give me the house. All I have to do is take over payments, and that'll be it. I'll put no money into taking it over. And if I wanted to be a real slumlord, what I could do is take the house over, rent it out for $750 a month, and call it quits. I'm not going to do that. I don't like to do that. Right now, the principal, interest, taxes, insurance, everything like that comes to a total, I'm looking at this from another screen. It's $544.82, 186.33. And for anybody that doesn't know what this is Microsoft Excel. Real estate is not as glamorous as a lot of people pretend it is. A lot of people like watching HGTV and looking at these gorgeous houses and sometimes dilapidated houses. Really, in real estate, it's a lot less of that and a whole lot more of learning to use Microsoft Excel. And that's just how it is. If you don't want to learn how to use Microsoft Excel, you won't be good in real estate investment. And that's just the truth. I'm sorry to say. Well, I'm not sorry to say. I love Excel. I was a D-average student in math in school, and then I got into real estate and realized I could use math to make a whole bunch of money, and I don't regret it one bit. I regret learning it. So here's the total payment. We could probably get, let's say, $800 a month rent. $800 a month rent. So we'll take the total payment minus the rent and, oops, how did I do that wrong? And some people would say, oh, well, you'd make $68.85 off of it. Now this is what we'll term the slumlord option, where nothing is put into the house. Well, here's the thing. You're going to have repair escrows. Well, you need to save back money for repairs. Now here's the thing. I budget typically 15% of whatever my gross rents are for repairs and maintenance. So it'll come off B7. So that would come out to $120 a month. And then vacancy expenses, I figure 5%. On nicer houses, and this is a nicer house, real vacancy might be closer to 2% or even 1%. But worst case scenario is always good to plan for. Oops. You're going to see me make a lot of mistakes because I'm doing this live. So we want to take, 160 between those two numbers minus the profit. So we're going to end up with a loss. A loss of $91.15 a month by doing even the slumlord option and setting back $120 for repair, maintenance, escrow, and vacancy costs. Now I probably should go into a whole thing on how I estimate rehab costs, but we'll pretend that total repairs are $15,000 on this, and let's say it'll get us up to $900 a month. Now we're cash positive, $850, and let's say these aren't real numbers. I mean, well, this is cutting it close. And we'll fix these numbers. So after repair, maintenance, and vacancy, we end up with a whole profit of $69 and some change. Total repairs, I figure $15,000 in it if we had to repair that. This is just based on photos. I would have to do a physical inspection, and that could get lengthy. I still might do a video on that, but $15,000 sounds okay if everything else in the house is okay. They owe $71,000 on it for total. Call that total in. I don't know what that is. No, I guess I should actually do it the right way. So total in, it might have an estimated market value of $99,000 minus what our total in. So here I've taken, I figure $15,000 to get it up to reasonable condition that I would want to rent it. Now, if we look at the profit, this is per month. We'll take B11 times 12, $838 per year, and we'll go over here and look at what is $838.20 divided by the cash we would put in, which would be $15,000, and that is 5.5%, which is absolutely nothing, in my opinion. If you're on the West Coast or California or New York, someplace like that, 5% might not be too bad. That's 5.5%, which I would never touch. Based on the profit a year, $15,000 out of pocket. Now, that all assumes everything goes wonderful with the house, and you have 10% as your repair and maintenance. Escrow, I usually budget $15,000, which makes that profit a month go down even more. But as a flip, it might not look too bad. Might be able to get $13,000 as a flip. Now, here's the thing. we figure the estimated market value is $99,000, but we're forgetting costs. If you were to go out and hire a real estate agent, now I'm a real estate agent, so I don't have to pay my end of the commission, but we'll use a standard, well, I can't say it's standard, but a estimated realtor commission of 6% off the sell price, which would be $6,000. And then we have title fees and taxes, and we're going to put that at, let's say, an extra $2,000. So now we've got our $13,000 from cell B21. We're going to minus the realtor commission, and we're going to take out the title fees. So now we'll call that flip profit after fees. We've got $5,000. Now the problem is that's not a huge margin. It has to sell for what the estimated market value on it is. Now the problem is if you have to pay for buyer closing costs, which could be an extra $3,500, now you're down to a $1,500 margin on this, assuming that you don't go over repairs. So in my eyes, that is not a deal that I would want to take on. So this is why I'm probably going to turn this property down. I haven't guaranteed turned it down, but I wanted to share with everybody what kind of numbers you deal with on something like this that would be a seller finance deal, them asking me to take over the payments. If you have any questions, need more explanation on this, feel free to comment. If you like this kind of content, subscribe. We're going to do a lot more hands-on stuff with my rentals in the next few months. This is Brandon from Columbus, Ohio. Well, technically outside Columbus, Ohio. But subscribe and like the video. Thank you very much.